Welcome to the 2014 SunSmart IRONMAN 70.3 Mandurah Athlete Race Briefing. Further to this race briefing, athletes are required to read the Athlete Information Guide, which contains additional information to ensure you have a great day. This is available online to view in print at www.ironmanmandurah.com. If you have any further questions following the race briefing, please see the team located at the information desk at Eastern Foreshore. Please make sure you've taken the time to check your athlete race kit for all items you'll need this weekend. This includes your swim cap, number tattoos, helmet sticker, bike seat post sticker, bike pump sticker, race bib, and most importantly, your athlete wristband. Your athlete wristband is your form of ID, which you'll need to wear across the whole event. It will provide access into athlete-only areas. Bike check-in is on Saturday between 10:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. This takes place at Transition at Hall Park. If you require bike mechanic services prior, they'll be located at the entry to Transition. Make sure you've attached your bike sticker prior to arriving to Transition. You'll have your bike inspected by technical officials to ensure your bike is in a safe and working order. The bike racks are individually numbered. Please ensure that you rack your bike at your assigned position. No bike bags or covers are allowed on your bikes overnight. These will be removed as they are a danger in high winds to neighbouring bikes. Helmet check-in will take place on Sunday morning. To assist in a speedy process, please ensure you're wearing your helmet with helmet sticker for a quick visual check by the technical officials. Please make sure you're aware of the flow of transition. There'll be 3 transition tours held on Saturday, which will help with any questions you have. Transition tours will be held at 11:30 a.m., 1:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. Transition will be open from 5 a.m. to 6:15 a.m. Please ensure to bring your helmet with you on race morning. At closure of transition, all team cyclists and runners must exit the transition area. The team's transition will reopen at the discretion of the transition manager after the professional athletes have departed for the bike leg. Team cyclists will then wait with their bike. Once the team swimmer passes them the timing chip, they can take their bike off the rack and continue out of transition. At this point, the team swimmers must exit prior to the team runners entering. As the team cyclist re-enters transition, they must rack their own bike individually before passing the timing chip to the team runner. Bike mechanics will be located at the bike exit entry arch and will have resources for emergency services only. Transition closes at 6:15 a.m. and wave starts will commence from 6:30 a.m. You'll be able to bring in your bike pump on race morning, however you must take this with you when you exit. Pumps will be stored separately to bags in the street gear tent, so please ensure they are adequately labelled with the bike pump sticker provided. Your gear bag will need to be handed into the street gear tent located near Transition at Hall Park. The gear tent will be open from 5 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Please ensure your bag is labelled with the numbered gear bag sticker found in your race kit. The one-lap point-to-point swim starts at Sutton Farm, continuing through the Mandurah canals, exiting at Hall Cottage, and continuing to Hall Park Transition. Each age group will be let off in wave start signalled by a horn start. The first turn is a right-hander, 120 metres post the start line. Athletes will then follow the main canal, swimming underneath the Mary Street Bridge and re-entering the smaller canal network at approximately 1.3 kilometres. All swim buoys should be kept on the right-hand side of swimmers up until this point. The final segment of the course requires athletes to swim 600 metres, inclusive of a 180-degree left-hand bank turn prior to a straight swim to swim exit. All swim buoys throughout this final section should be kept on the left-hand side of the athlete. Please allow 15 minutes to walk to the swim start from Transition. You'll need to walk down Old Coast Road, turning right into Apollo Place and continuing on to Sutton Farm. This year's start line has been relocated to a new area on Sutton Farm. The start area is immediately on athletes' left upon entry and identified by an inflatable arch. Please be aware roads in this area are still open. Be careful when making your way to the swim start. Marshals will be in place to direct you. If the water temperature is not greater than 24 degrees Celsius, wetsuits are optional. The provisional water temperature will be posted on Saturday adjacent to this presentation and repeated at transition by commentary on race morning. Please inquire at the information desks if you're unsure of the provisional water temperature. Athletes will be called into the holding area according to their wave category identified by their swim cap colour. Event personnel will call each wave category into the water. Athletes will be able to complete a warm-up swim immediately prior to their wave start in the vacant water directly behind the swim start. Athletes will be called to move to the swim start area prior to their wave start time. All athletes must pass under the swim start inflatable arch and cross the timing mat in order to activate their timing chip and receive a race result. The pro males will start at 6:30 a.m. and the pro females will start at 6:33 a.m. Wave starts for age group athletes will begin from 6:38 a.m. If for any reason the swim needs to be cancelled after the swim start, you will hear a continuous whistle from water safety personnel. If this occurs, do not panic. Please take all direction from water safety personnel and make your way to the shore. If you decide to withdraw at any time after you've crossed the start mats, you must notify an event official so he can account for your safety. It is then the athlete's responsibility to please return their timing chip to one of the information tents located at either Hall Park Transition or the Eastern Foreshore. Swim safety is provided by Surf Lifesaving Western Australia. If at any time you need assistance, raise one arm above your head. Please look after those around you and raise your arm if you see another athlete in distress. The time limit for the swim leg is 1 hour after an athlete's wave start. Any athlete who has not completed the course by this cutoff time will not be able to continue. Any team cyclists remaining in transition will be sent out onto the bike course at this time, and the team will be classified as a did not finish or DNF. The exact detail of the swim cutoff is outlined within the Athlete Information Guide available online. The 2-lap bike course starts from Hall Park, takes in the old Mandurah Bridge and heads north to Mandurah Road, where athletes will turn prior to the Stake Hill Road turnaround, returning south. Competitors then head east along Paganoni Road before turning around and re-entering Mandurah Road and continuing south to the lap turnaround at Tuckey Street roundabout. Once competitors complete 2 laps of the scenic bike course, they'll return to Hall Park Transition. Athletes should take extra care when navigating the start of their second lap or finishing the bike course. It is advisable to slow down in this technical area. The course will be marked with directional signage and volunteers on race day. It's important athletes also note the 2 local vehicle crossing points on Mandurah Terrace and understand vehicles will be sharing sections of the course in order to maintain local access and provide event support. There will be roaming bike mechanics on course as well as a mechanic setup in transition for pre-race services. Mechanics will carry tools and spare tubes only. They will not have spare wheels available. Athletes must repair their own bike. The bike mechanics will endeavour to provide prompt service, however delays should be expected and athletes are advised to carry their own spares and be familiar with fixing or replacing tyres and tubes. For more information, please speak to the bike mechanic at Transition on Saturday. SAG wagons will be roaming the course to collect any cyclist that cannot complete the event. Collected cyclists will be transported to the closest aid station or back to Transition. Please be advised there may be delays in SAG wagon transport. It is advisable for athletes to commence walking back to their nearest aid station. Competitors have access to aid stations on the bike course at 25 kilometres, 50 kilometres and 70 kilometres. These aid stations will offer water, shots electrolytes, Vaseline, sunscreen and toilets. All athletes should slow down through this area and keep to the right if not accessing the aid station. This is the sequence of the bike aid stations. Volunteers will endeavour to provide approximately 50 metres between tables and service areas. Slow down through bike aid station and maintain a straight line and consistent speed. Communicate loud and clearly. Volunteers are there to support you, not serve you. Litter zone start and litter zone finish signs are provided to define the rubbish and bin and discard zone. Outside of this zone, athletes will be penalised. Roads cannot be reopened until the course is clear of all rubbish. Please help by sticking to the rules and discarding only within this area. Please be focused and considerate at all times through the aid stations. The safety of yourself, other athletes and volunteers should be your priority. Our volunteers will do their best to deliver what you require, but it is your responsibility to slow down and ensure you have the correct nutrition. Bike course regulations apply to this section of the course. These are: always ride as far to the left as possible, always pass on the right, always move left after a pass, do not block other athletes' progress, do not ride side by side, no outside assistance on the cycle course, never cross the centre line, do not litter, never ride with MP3 players, phones or cameras. This is a non-drafting event, meaning unless overtaking, 12 metres must be kept between yourself and the bike in front at all times. When passing, you must complete your pass within 25 seconds. Be making forward progress at all times. A started pass must be completed. After being passed, drop 12 metres back. You cannot pass until 12 metres back. If you do receive a penalty, the officials will show you a yellow or red card, tell you to stop at the next penalty tent if applicable, note your athlete number and other information. There are 2 penalty boxes on course located at Mandurah Road, Northern Turnaround inbound, Mandurah Terrace inbound. The time limit for the bike leg is 4 hours 30 minutes from the start time. Any athlete who has not completed the course by 12:15 p.m. will not be able to continue. There'll be intermediate cut-off points along the course and at the discretion of the race director. The exact detail of the bike cut-offs is outlined within the Athlete Information Guide available online. The anti-clockwise run course highlights the best Mandurah has to offer, with a run heading immediately over to the eastern foreshore and finish line prior to the start of the 2-lap course out to Hall's Head and finishing adjacent to the beautiful Mandurah Bay. The course has a mixture of terrain covering both road along Mary Street and pathways through Hall Park and the eastern foreshore. The course will be marked with directional signage and volunteers on race day. Please remember to keep all small cones to your left when moving around the course. Athletes will receive a wristband prior to starting each lap of the run course and will require 2 different colours prior to entering the finish line and celebrating the completion of their race. There are 4 aid stations on the run course located within 2 kilometres of each other. You'll pass each aid station multiple times. These aid stations will offer water, Shot Sports Nutrition Electrolyte, degas Coca-Cola, food, ice, a backup table containing all products, and toilets. This is the sequence of the run aid stations. Wherever possible, volunteers will provide a minimum of 10 metres between tables. However, due to the lay of the land, sometimes table layouts may vary across the course. The sequence of offerings, however, will remain the same. Please note there is at least 2 toilets at every aid station. Unfortunately, once again, due to the lay of the land, toilets cannot be consistently placed at all aid stations. Please ask volunteers and follow signage if in need. Please endeavour to place rubbish in the bins provided. We want to return the city to the locals as we found it. It is with their blessing we're provided access to this course. Don't forget to thank the volunteers. Please be focused and considerate at all times through aid stations. The safety of yourself, other athletes and volunteers should be your priority. Our volunteers will do their best to deliver what you require, but it is your responsibility to slow down and ensure you have the correct nutrition. Run course regulations apply to this section of the course. You must complete both laps. There'll be timing checkpoints on course validating this. Absolutely no outside assistance. No iPods, thumps, headphones, cell phones or cameras. Keep your torso covered. You must have your run number visible on the front. No littering. And please use toilets provided. If an athlete is shown a yellow card, they may be directed by the technical official to perform a stop-start penalty. 3 infringements received over the whole event equals disqualification. If you receive a red card from a technical official, you must report to the race referee once you've completed your race. The run course cutoff times is 7 hours 30 minutes from your wave start time. There'll be intermediate cutoff points along the course and at the discretion of the race director. The exact detail of the run cutoffs is outlined within the Athlete Information Guide available online. The race is conducted under the Triathlon Australia Race Competition Rules, or RCR, and a number of special Ironman rules. Please refer to the Athlete Information Guide on the event website for more information. An experienced medical team will be in place at the event, with medical personnel positioned at the swim start and exit, in transition, roaming on the cycle and run courses, as well as a full medical tent setup and team at the finish line. There will be ambulances strategically located within the venue and on course at all times. During the race, please ensure you look after yourself and your fellow athletes. If in doubt, ask for help from an event official or a volunteer on course. Please make sure you have provided the staff at check-in with your most up-to-date medical and emergency contact information. The medical team can assist with rehydration, warming or cooling and other basic care. Any athletes requiring further treatment will be transported to Peel Health Campus. If you find yourself in this situation, your gear will be cared for until you return. Please inquire at the information tent when you return. To help out the medical team, please make sure you're taking appropriate care of yourself. If you have an acute illness, modify your expectations and allow for a bad day. Above all, don't change what you've been doing. Pre-race and public first aid is available at the information booth. Completing an Ironman is a special experience. Crossing the finish line is the pinnacle. Here's a hot tip: make yourself photo ready. In accordance with Ironman rules, family or friends are not permitted in the finish chute. Please let your loved ones know of this rule, as you will be disqualified if this rule is not adhered to. This rule is enforced to reduce the risk of an athlete unintentionally harming themselves, other athletes or their loved ones. It's also important to respect other finishers and their experience. Ironman hopes everybody makes the most of their time in the spotlight. Once you cross the finish line, there will be finish line catchers to meet you and escort you through to the recovery area. You will be presented with your finisher's medal and towel. Catchers will briefly assess you and take you to medical if required. The recovery aid station will offer food and drinks. Massage therapists will be available. Competitor shirts will be available for collection. You'll need to show your race number to collect your shirt. Your street gear bags will be available from Hall Park Transition. Event staff and volunteers are within the post-finish area. Please advise if you require assistance. Bikes will be available for collection from approximately 12:30 p.m. or at the discretion of event personnel. Athlete wristbands must be shown to retrieve bikes from transition. Please do not attempt to remove your bike prior to this time. Should you require your family or friends to pick up your bike, please make sure to visit the information desk at either Hall Park or Transition to register and obtain the appropriate approval form. The transition area is for athletes only for security purposes. All bikes must be collected from Transition by 5 p.m. All prizes will be presented in the briefing and presentation tent at the Eastern Foreshore at the SunSmart IRONMAN 70.3 Mandurah presentations on Sunday afternoon, commencing at 3:30 p.m. The roll-down ceremony for the 2015 Ironman 70.3 World Championship, to be held on Sunday, 30th of August 2015 in Zalmsieger Salzburger Land, Austria, will take place immediately following the presentations at approximately 4 p.m. There are 40 qualifying slots on offer, and you must be present to claim your slot.